Have you tried it yet? Why are you so weird? What is this?
You asked me my school question.
I'm sure she's gonna tell you so much more about it, right? It's Miata. Duh. Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Miata. But today we're having a girl chat. Are you ready, sis? We're talking about all things vaginas. I have a vagina, you have a vagina, you know, your grandmother has a vagina, your mother has a vagina, your sister. See, every woman you see has a vagina. But really, I just wanted us to get comfortable with saying the word vagina. Let's start with that. And I also want us to get comfortable with talking about these things. How often do you actually sit with your girlfriends and you guys talk about your vaginas and how your vagina is treating you, like how your vagina has, you know, how the pH balance is, how it feels, like really how often do we have these conversations, right? See, all through high school, I didn't have these conversations. Yes, I had sex ed class in maybe 8th grade, but the teacher didn't really, I was lost in that class. I mean, I remember there was one time when I went to class and my teacher was teaching us how tampons work. So she had a bottle, a green bottle. I can visually remember it. And there was this tampon, but back then I didn't know what the tampon was. I was like, oh, we're doing a science project. Sis, 10 years later, it all connected. And I'm like, oh, she was teaching me how tampons work. I'm 30 now and I still don't know how to use tampons. I don't prefer tampons, I prefer pads. All the reason why I am bringing you L pads, you guys. I started using these pads maybe 2 years ago, okay? If you are using Always and all those other crappy pads from sis to sis, I'm telling you, get rid of them. I did my homework. I went to Target. That's typically where I get these pads from. And I was looking at the other brands of pads that are not organic. They have fragrance in there. They have chloride in there. Can you imagine people making sanitary products with bleach in them? So that's literally you putting bleach up your vagina. This causes endometriosis, okay? This is when women have really, really chronic, painful periods. And even medication can help it sometimes. Some of these pesticides they have inside those pads causes cancer and so many other things. So if you don't have a big sis like me or a little sis like you to bring you the tea, then sis, you will continue always using Always. Always is a crappy brand. And most of these sanitary brands that are out there, they're created by men. Really? How can a man create sanitary pads for women? You don't have a vagina. You don't know how the vagina works, sir. But we do. Okay, so I'm briefly going to talk about the L pads. No, this video is not sponsored. No, they're not paying me. I'm literally just sharing with you guys what I learned, what has really helped me out, because I noticed that once I switched to this organic pad, my periods are not as painful. I mean, my periods used to be extremely painful to the point where I'm crawling on the floor, I'm vomiting. You know, these days I have a period and people don't even know I have a period in the house. So that alone is a testimony. Anyway, so L pads are organic brands, no synthetic pesticides, dyes or fragrances. So if you notice, as a woman, sometimes for me, I don't use soaps with fragrances. I even switched my my soap from, we like those fancy Victoria's Secret soaps. If it works for you, works for you. For me personally, I like organic soap, non-scented soaps, because it works for me down there. My vagina likes non-scented things. Okay, so this is regular, and in the image, if you can see, regular looks like this. So they have different sizes, and I like that because not every vagina is the same size. Just like how you and I physically are not the same size, your vagina and my vagina are not the same size either. So Sandy uses regular. They have 42 pads in there. So I'm just gonna do a little briefing, right? But after I'm done chatting here, I'm going to show you guys the video of how I went to the store and how I actually went through and I was looking at different products in the store itself. And I saw all these brands with fragrances in there. But this is the pad. What I like about it is it's not noisy. Sis, how many times have you gone in the bathroom, maybe at school, you're at work, and you had to use a public bathroom and you needed to change your pad and your pad makes so much noise? I mean, everybody in the bathroom will know that you're on your period because it's so loud. But this one isn't. Look at that. It's like music to your ears. It's not loud. It's super flat. I'm gonna open this one just because. Okay, that was a little rough. I'm sorry, y'all. This is what the pad looks like. Just like this. No fragrance. It doesn't smell like anything to say, oh, it smells like flowers and roses. No, it don't smell like flowers and roses. It smells like absolutely nothing. It is clean. It's not even pure white. That's how you know, because bleach is not in there. And these other pads, they put bleach in there and other colorations. Because if you have Always pad, go back to your Always pad and you see a blue line in there. Why is my pad blue? Why? I didn't ask you to paint my pad. Why is my pad blue? Anyway, so this is what the pad looks like. Over here is a bit more wider, and over here is a bit more narrow. So this one goes to the butt area and this one goes to the front. But this is just what the pad looks like. But I just want to encourage you, you know, if you have never thought about it, I would encourage you to switch over to an organic pad. It'll really change your period. I'm not just saying this just to say it. Your periods will be much more lighter. My period is never 7 days. Absolutely not even 6 days, sis. Okay? So I just thank God, you know, for wisdom to be able to find this brand of pad, and now I use it. So I think I have shown you guys the product, but I'm gonna do this next slide that's coming up now. I'm gonna give you guys more details on this actual brand of pad.
All right, so this is me going into Target. That's typically where I get my pads from. And I'm talking specifically today about the L pads, okay? L is for loving your body. So their tampons are made with organic cottons, free from chlorine, bleaching, pesticides, fragrances, dyes, and with a PBA-free plastic applicator. All their pads and liners are made with a cotton top layer, free from chlorine, pesticides, and fragrances. Now, that's what we call clean and simple. And then, ladies, if you use Summer's Eve, I am begging you to stop using Summer's Eve. This has fragrances in there. Do you see that? Let's read the directions. Many times when you go, how often do we actually read the things that are coming into our body? Lactic acid, sodium. Like, what in the world? So I don't use Summer's Eve, absolutely not. If I'm using any wash down there, it is definitely Honey Pot, but not Summer's Eve. My point exactly, look what that says. It's same great fragrance. Why do you need fragrance in your vagina? Your vagina is not supposed to smell like flowers. I can see you through a little far away. I think that this should be like a new habit for us. Like whatever it is that you're getting from the store, whether it's produce or even things like pads, always read the ingredients so you know exactly what you're putting into your body. And I love how they explain every single ingredient. Now back to this crap I was talking about. This is the Always panty liners. I use these things for so long. Cellulose, hot melt adhesive. What in the world? What is this? Always is not a brand that we should be using, ladies. Absolutely not. Do your research. I mean, don't take my word for it. Do your research and really see the toxins that you're putting into your body. The crazy thing about it is, if you even look into, like when you go to Walmart or Walgreens, wherever you get your pads from, the cheaper ones are always the unhealthy ones. Isn't that something? Just like how we eat organic food. Organic food is so much more expensive than just a crappy old McDonald's and Wendy's, right? So these are so much more cheaper. But even the L brand that I use is really reasonable. I typically buy mine for $7.98. That's how much I buy 42 pads that typically last me like 4 to 5 months, really. Look at that. Lightly scented. Like, excuse me. Well, I've shown you enough. Now let's get into the good stuff. Now, if you're looking for like wipes, you know, sometimes you're in a public bathroom, you don't really have access to water, you definitely want to invest in Honey Pot sensitive wipes for down there, just to refresh a bit, you know, and keep going about your day. I also love their wash, but clearly everything is gone. and it's really reasonable. I mean, $8.99 for something that's really good for your body. Why not?
The good thing about this pad is every single brand that every package that you purchase is going to nonprofit organizations to help other teen girls, other women around the world who do not have sanitary pads. There are other countries, okay, where women are still using cloth during that time of their period, which is really, really horrible. So I feel really, really good about it. Every time I purchase a brand, a little girl, a teenage girl is having sanitary pads sent to her for her to go to school, and she doesn't have to be embarrassed, doesn't have to feel weird about having a period, because this is something we all go through as women. You bleed every month, just like I bleed every month, just like how every other woman bleeds every month. And this is a conversation that we need to have, and it needs to be an open conversation with no filters whatsoever, okay? Because all vaginas matter. All right.
Thank you so much, ladies, for spending this time with me in our girl chat. If you like content like this, kindly comment down below so I can know. And before I leave, I have one word for you all. We may not all look the same, but we are created equal. So let's treat every person, everybody, and every vagina with love. Please, what is special English? Subscribe to my channel.